So the uninvited sufferings and sorrows are the major problem in our life, physically as well as mentally or emotionally. They invariably comes to all the human beings. Vedanta, at the latest stage, even though they say that sufferings and sorrows are nothing but the ignorance of the human being, there is nothing as sufferings and sorrows in this universe. This is the ultimate of Vedanta. Once one reaches a stage of where the ultimate Brahman is realized, one knows there is nothing called sufferings and sorrows. If there are certain kinds of sufferings and sorrows are existing, they should be felt by us all the time, if it is existing. But some sufferings we undergo for some time and then it's gone. Some of the sorrows we undergo, it's forgotten. Even though the biggest of sorrow that comes to a human in one point of time, and that is also that's also vanished. No? The Mula Adhara, the basic principle of Vedanta and Veda itself is that that which is not constantly existing, that which are not constantly prevalent, that which are not constantly experienced or felt, they are all unreal. They are not truth. They are all false. That which is Shashwata, that's it. That which is permanent. And so the discussion of permanency, impermanency will come later. I'm just giving you the introduction of the book now. I mean, the principles of Vedanta now. We'll be discussing, I think, later of this. Permanency and impermanency has to be understood. This lack of understanding or the lack of knowledge is the cause of all sufferings and sorrows. That's why they are all known as, in a category as, differences. All are differences. No? Different opinion, different idea, different situation, different condition. It's different. We also say that it is the difference. They're all different. They are all coming under the category of different. Different of what? What is the base? From where? From what it is different? From the truth it is different. From the Brahman it is different. From the reality it is different. So we qualify sometimes difference of opinion. Somebody's opinion or some opinion, the difference of that opinion is called difference of opinion. These are all comes under the category of the differences. The sufferings and sorrows are all differences from the existence. In the existence there is no suffering. Like in the fire, is there suffering and sorrow? In the rain, is there suffering and sorrow? In the Prakriti, is there suffering and sorrow? But from the rain, from the fire, from the Prakriti, individuals experience suffering and sorrow. It's not the fault of the existence. Fire is there. There is no sorrow and suffering. In the fire. No? But when something is helped out of fire, suppose in a very, there are zones in the world where it is absolutely freezing cold. Fire is a savior for them. They enjoy fire. They enjoy fire, or they come closer to fire and they pray to fire. Let the fire be there. But there are places where the fire is, when it is hot, the fire is a disturbance. Both are experiencing fire in a different way. No? Similarly, each individual is experiencing sorrows and sufferings in a different way of the existence, from the existence, a different way. You have understood that this is suffering. Is it the suffering that is making you suffer? Is it the suffering that makes you suffer? No. It is because of loss of something, loss of someone, or problem of something, or disease, or illness, or something that is causing suffering to you. So it is not, there is nothing called suffering, that which you straight away take out of the shelf and use it. It's called, this is suffering. So that is identified as suffering. Is death suffering or sorrow? But for some, death is sorrow, death is suffering. But for some, death is not sorrow, not suffering. There are divisive ideas about sorrows and sorrows. When we have the varieties of meanings for sufferings and sorrows, and they themselves are not as it is existing, like knowledge, it is existing. How do we differentiate between that which is existing and which is not existing? How do you differentiate without, you don't have to, you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot feel nothing, but you know what is knowledge and what is not knowledge. What is existing? What is existing? What is not existing? We all know invariably. You ask anybody, is knowledge existing? Is there a different opinion? Anybody you ask, even a small child, is knowledge existing? Hey. But is suffering existing? No, it's not. Everyone will have difference of opinion. You ask anybody, knowledge is existing. Knowledge is there because existence is felt, experienced without you learning it, understanding it, or tasting it. But suffering and sorrows have to be understood. You have to qualify. Knowledge need not be qualified. Is knowledge is there? Knowledge is there. Is that a suffering? You have to qualify that. Is it a suffering? No, for me, that's not suffering. For me, it is suffering. For someone else, it is not suffering. We qualify that. Where it requires description and qualifications which are not, they are not existence. That which is not existence is not real, it's false. Like knowledge too. Is Prakriti there, Akasha there, the space is there? Yes, there is space. But in the space, is there suffering? Can you identify where is suffering? And they are identified as even though each individual is felt, we all feel that physical illness is felt. We cannot deny that. Mental illness is felt. Yes. What is the word? Felt. Yes. They are not existing, but we feel they are existing. That's the classification. What do you mean by felt? I felt pain. What does it mean? That means I feel. That means I feel. It is not existing, but I feel it is existing. It is not existing actually. I feel it is existing. That's why we can't measure the pain, I think, or somewhere it is there. Pain measurement, like temperature, thermometer, and all that. What is the intensity of pain? I think with some calculation, I think they calculate the intensity of pain is identified. That's how they derived that the childbirth is the maximum painful event in one's life, is what it has been derived. Is there any direct application to identify instrument to identify the pain? I do not know, but it is identified. Yes, there is intensity of pain has been identified with some kind of calculation, whatever it is. But that is not. They are different. Okay, I'm not going into those details. But what we are trying to tell us here is that one is called an existence, another is called a feeling. That's what I'm trying to. That's what probably Bhagavan wanted to explain to us. That which is existence is the truth. Identification, conclusion is that, or it's not a conclusion. Conviction is that that which is existing is the truth. That which is not existing is not the truth. That which is existing need not be felt, it is not felt. That which is existing is not felt, but which is not existing has to be felt in order to understand it is there. Well, there are a lot of explanations why there is pain, why there is sorrow. In the lower consciousness, a lot of explanation can be given. And it can be justified also. It is logically justified. If there is a pain, I feel the pain. No, it's not false. I'm not telling a lie, or I'm not telling something which is not there. Because I feel it. That's the only difference. And when we are studying Vedanta, we are not studying medical science. We are not studying something else. We are studying Vedanta. We should remember that. Vedanta is that the basic principle of living is called Vedanta. Nothing other than that. The true way of living is called the Vedanta. With the Vedanta, don't try to conclude some meaning on Vedanta, derived from Veda, end of Veda and things like that. Don't try to end of a book and things like that. Don't derive that. With this, with the knowledge, the gist of the knowledge, the end, last conclusion, we always say that the moral of the story, after the story is written, moral of the story. What have you learned from this story is moral of the story, we call it. Something like that is called Vedanta. That which is the gist and the moral of the knowledge that was given is called life and living. So Vedanta is what? That is what is called Vedanta, not some some sentences written here or some sentences which I have explained is not Vedanta. Vedanta is that the true way of living and life, in the realm according to the knowledge, based on the knowledge which is prevalent, which is existing, which can never be destroyed, which can never be identified, which can never be seen, learned, and where knowledge cannot be learned. It cannot be learned, it cannot be seen, it cannot be heard, it cannot be felt. Knowledge is there. How do you know? We call it knowing. It has also come from knowledge only. Did you feel that there is knowledge? A man who has qualified a doctorate or did some thesis experiments and became very knowledgeable. How does he feel he is knowledgeable? Does he feel he is knowledgeable? He says, I know these things, so they have put me into the category of the knowledgeable person. Here, in the physical sense, that's what I'm trying to divide it into two different things, in the higher consciousness and the lower consciousness. One is in the physical realm, and that which is one is beyond that which is the physical realm, which is the truth. The physical realm is not the truth, which is only temporary, because the physical presence itself is temporary. So everything that is connected with the physical presence or physics is temporary. Because the physical system itself is temporary. So anything and everything connected to physics is called also temporary. That which is not that, beyond that, is called the truth, which brings the physical self into the realm of feeling, is called the knowledge. That I have the physical body and I am feeling the pain is the knowledge. I have the body and I am feeling the pain in the body is a knowledge, but the pain is not knowledge. The pain is not the truth. I know there is pain is knowledge, but neither I nor the pain is the truth. But the knowledge is the truth. You see how complicated or how simple it is. I would call it as simple. I know it is there is the truth, but that which is there is not the truth. Knowing that which is there is not the truth is called ultimately the Vedanta, and living in the Vedanta. Bhagavan says, therefore, suffering and sorrows are part of life. It is existing now. Whatever we say and do, a person who is experiencing this physical body, a person who is not capable of detaching himself from the physical body and mind, he will feel those things that is happening to the body and the mind. If I have an object with me, I can feel how this object would be. If the object is not there, I cannot feel it. But when there is an object and I have it within my control and I realize this object is not the truth, it is called the Vedanta knowledge. Why such knowledge is required is also another. Why should I have to know Vedanta? Why this is known as the way of living and the truth of living? Because that is the truth, that Sharira and Mana is not the truth. The Sharira and Mana is existing only for the purpose of experiencing And as Bhagavan says, so long there is Sharira and Mana, there are sorrows and sufferings. Nobody is objecting to your feeling of Vedanta is not a. Please remember, there are so much we have to study in depth, then only these things can be understood. Now, immediately one will continue from the talk what I made, they will say that, okay, that means the pain and sorrows are not, so the sorrows are only felt, it is not there. So the feeling of sorrows and sufferings that what we are undergoing is all false. Like Jagat Mithya. Sankaracharya himself said Jagat Mithya. What is the meaning of that Mithya? Similarly, this is Mithya. So, what do you understand? Oh, these are all not true. Now, how not to feel the pain? How not to feel the sorrow? How not to feel the sadness? Is it possible? Impossible for a human being. It is impossible. Then why do we learn Vedanta? Then what does the Vedanta say? This is where the importance of studies of Vedanta through the Gurumukha is coming. Where, as he said, as I told last time also, about the lot of developments. The latest development is artificial AI. I happened to hear one of the same thing what I spoke last time. I happened to hear one of the Navaksha monk saying in the United States, who is the Malhotra, the writer, is Malhotra. Anyway, he is some Malhotra. He is a very famous writer. He has written about the advantages of the height of advantages of the artificial intelligence. Rajiv Malhotra. He's a very good writer. Writes various subjects, very well written. But again, that's all based on the physics, so you should not be carried away by it. What he is writing is true, what is there existing. He has analyzed it, learned it, and writing it very well. So he himself has interviewed a monk in he is in US now. So recently, it's only about a week or 10 days back, I think. So the monk has analyzed. He said, I do not know anything about AI. You please explain me first what is AI. So he explained to him. After that, studies are done. Then he said Vedanta and connect it immediately to Veda. Vedanta is very easy. Anything can be connected to Vedanta. You will immediately understand the answer because it is the solution then which that you put something will come out. Paramahamsa. That's why it is known as Paramahamsa. Milk and water go together and the Hamsa takes it and he immediately separates milk and water. Is only Hamsa can do it. Is why the most knowledgeable person, discriminative identity can be done by one who is known as Paramahamsa. Is it not? We all know. I have spoken about this, I think, early stages of Vedanta studies. That's why Paramahamsa, so is anybody who is a Paramahamsa, the one who is knowledgeable is a Paramahamsa. The moment he knew what is happening, he said that he speaks the same thing. Yes, all the facilities have been given. That makes a man's mind especially totally blocked. His self-development, what we call as here, what are we doing here, exercise, what we are doing? Self-realization, self-identity, self-realization. It's called the way of moksha and mukti is called the Brahman, realization of the Brahman. The realization of the self is very important. What artificial AI is also saying with all the facilities that is provided that it can be done anything. Or realization of the external, not realization of the self. I don't mean about it. You can know the anatomy of the body and how the surgery has to be done, what is the different diseases happening. All artificial intelligence within one fraction of a second. Everything can be understood is why that Vedanta already says that. But can I have self-realization through the study of any of these subjects, whatever subjects they provide. He will also write about Vedanta. Artificial intelligence, if you write, ask, say, write Atmabodha, he will give the whole thing. What is Atmabodha? Everything. Then, as I told you in the previous class also, that Atmabodha will be your Atmabodha, not my Atmabodha. In the sense, you will derive a conclusion of Atmabodha depending upon your level of intelligence or the level of intelligence the person who is telling you. Will you know the truth? There is no question of your Atmabodha and my Atmabodha. Atmabodha is Atmabodha. Realization of the truth inside me, the true existence of me. Can it be known by any of the studies? Can it be known by any of the studies? No. Can it be known by any of the practices? No. No. So many of the tapasvis and jnanis have done tapasya, very rigorous tapasya, but they could not get the Atma-jnana or Atma-bodham, not come on, self-realization or mumukshutva or moksha as realization of the Brahman as well. But yes, by sadhana, one has acquired the siddhis, no doubt about it. Siddhis you have achieved through practices and tapas and all that you can, in any siddhi you can achieve, but realization cannot be achieved. What is the truth? What is the Brahman? That self-realization cannot be reached. Ultimate truth of the life is only to realize the self. With all this, any intelligence you bring or any function you bring, all the purpose of everything that is being, even modernization, non-modernization or rock state, what is the stone age and this, that, any age for that matter is all happening is based on, for the purpose of Mukti, moksha from the karma. If that is the purpose, why don't I straight away go into that path and achieve it? Unless one wants to experience, let me go through it. But even if we go through it, at the end of it, after going through all that, what will say that I have gone through everything, now I want moksha. All the sufferings have been undergone, but then I want moksha now, mukti. People live the whole life, and then at the fag end of life, when one cannot stand up, one cannot eat, one cannot sleep, one cannot ask him, what do you want now? बस शांति से चले जाए. What is the true real requirement, Then comes the true requirement. No, not that at that time he doesn't say that you make me walk or you make me healthy, you make me this, you make me rich, you make me poor, you make me this one, no, you make me young and you make me old. He never says anything. At that age when you say that immediately and immediate answer without any reluctance, he says that enough. I have experienced everything. Now I want to. You see, true statement is ultimate. The last statement of a person is that only. What do you want in the life at last? Well, experience, as I always told in Vedanta, in our Upanishad classes, experiences are there. Experiences will happen so long the mind and body is there, but then you undergo the experience, there is nothing wrong in it, because you will feel it, you can experience it, but only the thing is that, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that sufferings and sorrows will be there. It's not that nobody can eliminate it from the body and mind so long the individuals identify the body and mind. So long they identify the body and mind, The sufferings or enjoyment to the body and mind will be there. But if the day you understand the detachment from the body, then only you really understand the worth of the reality or the worth of non-existence of all these paraphernalias. They are all associated with the feelings. They are all connected with the indriyas. They are all connected with the mana, moha. They are all connected with the sharira, that importance of the sharira. There are many people, small aches and pains and things like that. Body is there, it's always there. A man who is working in a furnace, for him, temperature is a normal thing. Every day he faces the fire and he has to work very close with that temperature. So it is nothing for him. But for other person, it's my God. He may even burn his skin the moment you go near the fire. But the man who is working there constantly, it is nothing for him. So it all depends upon what the physical body is experiencing. Some people can sustain, some people are sustaining it, some people do not. Some people, even a small pain or small disturbance, will start howling and crying and things like that and bring the whole world down. Others, even though there is pain, they are able to sustain it. Okay, small things are all, you forget about it. This happens every day. Like children, they fall, they break they have wound in the knee, and they bleed, it will start bleeding and all that. But once at that time he will cry for some time. Immediately you put something, put a plaster and all that. He is next moment he is on the run. We say that now only you had been running and you fell down, did not realize or what? Is what we ask. He is the person who is most realized person. If there is a body will fall and I will have pain, no problem. Let next time also it happen. Throughout life it will keep on happening. Why should I stop running? Let me run. You see? Even though from a small example I am telling you, who is a realized person? The father or the mother who is advising not to run because you just now only fell down, you did not learn from that. He cannot explain, unfortunately, because he's gone. Otherwise, he would stand up and ask, have you not learned? After living all these years of life, have you not learned? Should be the question he is asking you, is it not? But we ask him, have you not learned? He says that, no, I'm just. He doesn't bother about it is existing or not. Only maybe while going to sleep or something, and he feels the pain, only he'll cry for a while. And again he'll go and sleep. It is non-existence as far as he is concerned. Insignificant for him, a pain in the knee and it is broken and what's that? The blood. Insignificant. But for you, it is something extraordinary. I am just telling a very small example from which the definition. You mean to say that he doesn't understand the body has got pain, I should not run again. He'll go and lie down forever till the time the wound is healed. Will he do that? No. He is not bothered, it is there, that's all. And he doesn't feel, then next time when he runs, does he feel the pain? No. Then he would not run if he feels the pain. He doesn't feel, even though the pain may be there, but he doesn't feel the pain because he is not accepting the pain. It's simplicity. High Vedanti is that boy, is that child who is the most knowledgeable person, who did not recognize, give importance to the physical body, so the pain is not there for him. But if you give importance to the body, you will feel the pain. Yes. You do it. But it is there. But the reality of the persons, most of the persons in the world are the ones who are related very strongly with the physical body and mind. I told you last class also about how important our body is, and then how we have given importance to our body, by which all the products and things like that is made and things like that. It's only because the human psychology is that important. So what? They know the human psychology. They will tell that. Say cracking skin, cracking nail. Normal nail is not enough. The additional nail also they have to provide. They know that. They know we are bothered about the body. So I have seen that only of late only, I think somewhere about a year back or something. So they are wearing some long nails and then different colors of nails are there somehow. For different occasions, different nails are there. No. They can be horrifying also at some time in the night. So why has all this creation has come now? Imagine that fellow create. Can you ever imagine creating nail, manufacturing nails? Okay, tell me honestly. How is business mind or what we call it as business mind? I've gone from where his business mind started working. He knew that people will definitely give importance to it. You see, because they give importance to the physical body. For all other things, people are there, doctors are there, others are there. I will make the nails. That's okay. And that fellow is booming business today. The colored nails only. Detachable, temporary nails. It's amazing. You see what I'm just telling you jokingly, but look at the way how the development has happened. The development has happened depending upon he studied the market. In the sense, he studied the people that who like it. You see. Hair dye was not there those days, and after that hair dye had come. Even though now it's all old. And like that, so many things have come only because the human being has giving a lot of importance to the physical body. But learn from that boy who has fallen down and got hurt, bleeding knees, and then running, not giving importance and telling you that you have not learned so long in your life that body is not important. This will happen. If the body is there, it will happen. But then, yes, for some time it will pain. So he cried sometime. So he felt the pain. After that he ran. So life should be taken. This is called knowledge. That's why I said identification of the pain as pain. For identification of pain, there has to be knowledge. But the pain, knowing the pain is not knowledge. It's only a feeling. We say that I feel pain. I felt pain. I felt this. I felt that. Bhagwan says so. Even though it is just in this one, but other explanations are there. Suffering is going, but it is there now. People who have, let us go ahead with you. So you know the truth now. What I want to give you the information is that look, even though we may be talking about it. But you must understand now that that is not the truth. But we have to go through the realities. If I straight away tell a student saying that, disciple saying that, look, you should imagine from tomorrow the body is not there and the feelings of the body is not there, the pain is not there. No, it's impossible. Nobody can do it. We have to go with you and body. You feel the pain. But and information is from initially itself is necessary that tell you that look, they are all false. Knowledge is different. Once you have the knowledge, the power of discrimination, that which is not connected with the lower consciousness, which is not connected with the sharira and mana, which is not permanent, which is not shashwata, that which is temporary only. So anything that is happening to that is also temporary. So it should not be considered as real and then work for. You can feel the pain, doesn't matter. Is he objecting to feel your sorrows and pain to the body? No, he says that you feel the sorrow and pain. Only thing you realize they are not truth. That's all. They are not truth. Then only you will be in a position to transfer your thoughts to the necessity of moksha, mumukshutva, self-realization or the liberation process. If you get stuck with no, the pain is the reality and my body is the reality, you will not be in a position to shift your studies and thought towards the understanding of the realization and also to the liberation, the purpose of liberation. So he wants to tell you that you will feel, so long you have a body, you feel the body, you will feel that what is happening to the body. So long you have mind, you will also feel there is a mind and then what is happening to the mind. That also you will feel. But he says that let at a point of time, let the knowledge in you or the knowledge that is existence, let that take control of you, even though initially it cannot be totally under the control of that, but gradually inculcate the experiencing of the advices that is being transmitted by the knowledge from a point of time constantly from the higher consciousness to the. It's constantly being, just like that tower, keeping on blinking and keeping on advices. So what happens? Even though sometimes we are centered with the body, but what happens? Sometimes when you sometimes gradually increase the time. So look at that latches that is coming from the knowledge from which is in existence, which never tires to keep on advising you. See, even though you follow the advice, you don't follow the advice, or you go against that decision of the knowledge that is providing you, or you follow the decision of the knowledge, but knowledge will keep on. Is it not? Your internet box or your that television, what do you call that? That box, whatever it is. That is set-top box. They called it as, they didn't have the real name for it. They called it a set-top box. Okay. So that box is keep on giving you signal, whether you use the TV or not, whether you use the internet or not, whether you use the tower or not, whether you use this keeps on. Whenever you want, you use it. Oh no, I don't like it. It will not stop blinking. It will keep on blinking. I will follow it, then also it will blink. I won't follow it, then also it will blink. Same way, knowledge is constantly giving you the knowledge, constantly pouring into you. Nobody's permission is required. Nobody's intervention is required. It will always intrude into you all the time. When you are sleeping, when you are walking, when you are eating, it constantly being in watching you, and then it's providing you this one. But only thing you have to turn to that to identify that it is giving us this light. To know the light, small child asking from where it is. No, daytime there is brightness, night it is dark. How is it happening? So we have to take the child out and show him the look there, the sun, who is giving you the light. Now he knows. So whenever he sees light, he knows that the sun, prakasha from the sun is happening. Same way, we have to realize there is a sun and there is a prakasha is constantly giving it. Whenever there is light, we should know it is from that and we should accept it. Is what Bhagavan probably wants to tell us. That is why he brought this particular subject here. Only he identified two things, sufferings and sorrows. Only he has discussed because he really undergone the experience of that throughout his life. Adi Sankaracharya, throughout his life, he has been seeing, wherever he went, wherever he had been, he understood sufferings and sorrows. And we all ask one question: if there is God, why there are so much of sufferings and sorrows? Many people ask, They asked me also. I said, yes, you are absolutely right. I told them they are absolutely right because God has made a mistake of creating you. That is why sufferings and sorrows are there. The day you are not there, sufferings and sorrows will end. That's the truth also. No, I did not tell a false. It's a truth. So long I am there only for me, there is sufferings and sorrows. It's a part of life's game. There is none who has not undergone the pressing agonies in his own day-to-day life, either physically or mentally, emotionally, yet nobody seems to have invited them. This aspect of life coming in contact with us, the more we want to escape from that, the more it comes as a cruel. The more you want to escape, the more it will come to you. It's an endless variety of subtler and sharper ways of attacking you. That's what the word he has written. An attack. What is an attack? What do you mean by attack? Attacking that, that is the epidemic attacked. Attacking has come from the superlative, according to me. I may be wrong. Superlative of attachment is called attacking. The more you have attachment, that attachment becomes attacking. If you are too much attached to something even in the sleep, that will come as an attack only. Too much of fear of something, that's also attachment. You feel so much of fear, is also an attachment to that fear. In the night you will get dreams of that fear only. That's an attack. Attacking is that. Without any intimation to your intelligence or the mind, it intrudes, interrupts and intrudes and invades your mind and influences you towards that is called attacking. Is the meaning of attacking. And this happens only because I have identified it as the most attaching things to God. When you have too much of attachment, it converts itself into attack. That's why always Vedanta and Upanishad says that detachment. Detachment is not. Detachment is also attachment. But attachment to a limit. That which should not disturb you. The attachment should not have an agitative mind in you is called the true attachment. I should not create an agitation. Attachment to the God is also necessary. But then, it should be the attachment should be it's in its own status to a certain degree of that. If it starts giving you trouble, then it is no more attachment, it is attacking. When you get attacked, you get trouble. It starts bothering you. It starts giving you pain. It starts giving you discomfort. How can you call it as an attachment? Discomfort and pain cannot be called it as an attachment. That's attacking because of too much of attachment. That's why he said, the more you want to escape from that, in the sense, the sufferings and sorrows, that's why I told you sometime back in my talk in Guru, said that we are all looking for solutions. The whole life we are only keeping on looking for solutions to the problems, and we create problems, we look for solutions. Nothing else. We are never done to come out of it, nor have we realized that liberation from that is called what is necessary. The more and more you started looking for solutions for sufferings and sorrows, the more and more you get attached and attracted to sorrows and sufferings. we ask them, should we forget about sufferings and problems? Should not get any solutions for that? Yes, solutions are there. That's why we are learning this way now. The ultimate solution, I have already told you what should be done. But then in between, what solution can be done, we will be learning that, how to solve it. How to reach that status of the ultimate solution. Ultimate solution is that. What is the ultimate solution? Dissolve the suffering and sorrow itself. But there's no question of remedies for that. So long the sufferings and sorrows are there, we will have suffering. No, we will have to find out the solutions. Childhood, we used to see that some booth praying and all that through the dream. Every day it comes. Want to know what is the solution? When people ask them how to get rid of it, what is the solution? What is the solution? The more and more he was asking for solutions, the more and more he was getting attached to that particular dream, and he keeps on dreaming it. Till the time his mind is diverted from that, started learning something else, and then more and more of attachment towards the other. Something else has happened. This automatically diminished from him because it was only imaginary in him. That's why it was dreaming. So it's called. It's why very, very thoughtfully, very, very gracefully, and in a true form, Adi Shankara told us, hey, Jagat Mithya. That Jagrata Avastha that you are having is Mithya. He is not telling that it is wrong. It is Mithya. Mithya. The Mithya is that non-existent. It is not lie, it is not untrue, it is not there, it's there, it's not there. But it is not the existence, it is not the truth. That's all. That's called Mithya. Jagat is there, but it's Mithya. Jagat is there, but it is Mithya. It's not true. That's why we say, in my world of thinking, in my world, we always say that physical ailments form, but one tribe of hordes that laboriously attack us, even more relentlessly cruel are our mental sufferings. As we progress in our knowledge of curative processes for removing the physical suffering, we observe that the mind's ill health affects the body much more than what you could imagine. And of course, mind is the more you are mentally, so that affects the physical body because it personifies and affects the physical body and body much more than what one could imagine. Yes, that's what it can go to extensive things. The more you get fearful, oh my God, my heart is beating too high, too high. The moment you tell 3 times the heart is beating too fast, heart will start beating too fast. Auto suggestions are there. The mind, the more and more intensity, the more and more, oh, is it true? 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 It's true. The false, it's false. So he says that the more you view that imaginary this kind of suffering proves more difficult to deal with. Mental disintegration is more dangerous. He says that mental disintegration is more dangerous, for it brings about not only the misery to the sufferer but also the kind of dangerous disharmony to the excruciating intolerance with the surroundings of such an individual. very beautiful sentence he has made. I can so nice when I read that. He said, selectively he used. I thought I did not think about it. Mental disintegration is the most dangerous thing. He said. Nobody thought about the integration of the mind. Disintegration of the mind. He used this word. I think very rarely used. You find this word is used. Mental disintegration. What is integration of mind? And only we can say disintegration. What is the? How do you know? What is disintegration and what is the integration of the mind? Is an abstract. We all know that they are all based on the thoughts and experiences that has been collected. His existence as the mind, because each and every thought collectively and putting into action is called the mind and imagination, creating imagination to that based on the experiences created by the indriyas, transmitted to the mana, the thoughts and that abstract will analyze it as and then produces the results of that which is non-existent actually, because mind itself is a non-existent, it's an abstract. It's only a form of thought in some degree. From that only we depend on that so much, that which is not integrated with the antaratma or antakarana, integrated with the higher consciousness. It is not integrated with the Atma Brahman or Atman, is why he called it as disintegrating is more dangerous. Once it is integrated means become one with that, integrated, homogeneous unit. That's integration. When it is integrated with the knowledge or with the jnanam of the antaratma, of the intellect of the Parabrahman, these problems would not have happened. That's why that is a very big word he has used. Disintegration of the mind is the whole crux of the problem, why we have not accepted the direct knowledge that is being provided by the higher consciousness to the lower consciousness is the only cause of that, why we are unable to connect ourselves to the Supreme and to the knowledge only because of the disintegration of the mind. How big a word that he has used is what I felt it so nice. That integration has to be created, because it cannot. Why an integration? Then you may ask, why an integration of the mind is necessary with the knowledge? Let it work independently. Fine, no problem. If you think the mind can handle things independently. Can the mind function and fulfill the requirement that is being provided by the knowledge by the mind independently? Is it possible? Why is it not possible? Because that is not existing. Why it's not possible? Because it is based on only emotions and thoughts and experiences, nothing other than that. It's an abstract. It is only based on your emotions and thoughts that your mind is functioning. If it is a mind that which is functioning, which is existing, everybody should be functioning through that mind. But each one is working based on his own mind, is because that is not integrated with the prevalent existent knowledge which is common, which is absolute. Is why you have these thoughts. The disintegration of the mind is taken. Because that mind cannot handle things easily without the knowledge. If the mind can handle it, then it is okay. The usage of integration and disintegration doesn't arise at all. Integration and disintegration has come, or integration of mind is absolutely necessary, has come only because It doesn't have the capability of producing what you want independently. It doesn't have the capability of advising you or leading your life independently without any faults. It goes according to emotions and experiences, which is not necessarily right. Sometimes it is right, sometimes it is wrong. Sometimes I think right, sometimes I think wrong. Why? Why? Because I have no substratum. The mind doesn't have a substratum, a firm ideology in it. No. It is borrowed. The mind is functioning, and the borrowed thoughts, functions, emotions, and indriyas, informations. Is why it has to be integrated. That's why he said the disintegration of is more dangerous, for it brings about not only misery to sufferer naturally. When that disintegration has taken place, when that is disintegration is happening for the mind independently is deciding based on the prevalent emotional attractive attachment knowledge that is which is prevalent in him based on the experiences and thoughts one has. Based on that, the mind decides, and that becomes a failure or a success. Maybe sometimes it is a success, sometimes it's a failure. Most of the time, it leads us to the failure. It's why I told you that we will gradually be processing what is called sufferings and sorrows. Is why sufferings and sorrows are happening. What's the basis? Because of disintegration of the mind, direct equal to sufferings and sorrows. Had the mind been constantly integrated with the knowledge, I would not have any sufferings and sorrows. Correct? You see how big word he has used, disintegration? That integration is necessary. Is why the mind's integration is necessary to the knowledge, to that higher consciousness. That's why we spoke about lower consciousness and higher consciousness. That which can be, we always relate with identity of the things that is happening, that should happen or that will happen in the higher consciousness, which is not possible because the identity and the functions and the realizations are all happening only in the lower consciousness. And the higher consciousness, it's a status. There's no understanding. That has to be, we have to transform to that status where this understanding is there. When understanding is there, then only all this, what kind of then happens in this, because of that misery to the sufferer, but also a kind of dangerous disharmony in excruciating intolerance with the surroundings of such an individual. He used so many superlatives, he has used so many prepositions, he has used so many prepositions and qualifying that. He has used how many of them? One is, he said, disharmony, with dangerous disharmony that happens. Dangerous disharmony itself is dangerous. He qualifies it with dangerous disharmony. Harmonious, to be harmony, to be harmonious in the sense, to be constantly associated with the knowledge which gives me absolute peace and non-agitative status is called harmony. Association with the mind, when it gives agitation of the mind and then understanding of the realities in a different way, is called disharmony. Not being harmonious to the knowledge, not being harmonious to the existence, not being harmonious to the Antaratma is called disharmony. All the crux of the problem starts with the dangerous disharmony in and excruciating in and excruciating intolerance with the surroundings. excruciating intolerance. Intolerance itself is non-acceptance of the existence. Intolerance. Tolerating. Tolerance comes only when through the knowledge. Intolerance comes because we are not being harmonious with that. Again, dangerous harmony. Harmonious with that is why that intolerance happens. Intolerance. Tolerance is absolutely necessary. Tolerance that we go into small materialistic things when we talk about tolerance. Tolerating the pain, tolerating the suffering, tolerating this, tolerating somebody's ideas. This is not toleration. That's okay. It's also a part of tolerating. But they are very minor to consider when we are talking about the subjects of the tolerance. Tolerance is that I accept me as the knowledge and everything else as the Brahman, and I being Brahman, everything is Brahman, is called the identity of the tolerance there. So that a personal identity or selfish identity doesn't take place there, doesn't have any importance there. When can one tolerate other? When one doesn't have an ego, then one tolerates. Is it not? When you have no ego of your being so and so, so and so, so and so, then you are able to tolerate. But whenever you say, oh, I, and this and that, you won't tolerate. Even small things, you won't tolerate. Why? Because I want it that way. I cannot tolerate that person, that incident, that idea, that material, that matter, that object, that way of happening. I cannot tolerate. Means what? What does it mean? He means he is negating the quality of the tolerance by which it is prominently evident that his disintegration of the mind with the knowledge. Right? Could you get it? When a person have the disintegration of the mind with the knowledge, intolerance comes. Tolerance will come when there is knowledge. Knowledge of that, I am so and so, I will finish my karma and go away. Not that you are ignoring what is happening. You are accepting what is happening, knowingly accepting what is happening is called tolerance. Not without knowing or just avoid it or neglect it. It's not called tolerance. Tolerating it, that means tolerating the pain. That means you experience the pain but tolerate it. That's called tolerating. So tolerating the other person, know the person, tolerate it. This person is like this, take care. It doesn't make any difference to me because I have to do my karma and go. He has to do his karma and go. उनको क्या लेना देना है? A simple word. That's called tolerance. See how beautiful you old people have put it. उससे कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, क्या है, छोड़ो ना. बिल्कुल देना और देना. Neither taking nor giving is necessary. Why should you bother about it? Because with the existence, na lena, na dena, because I have the existence. Ultimately, it happens to that. So he said that intolerance, excruciating intolerance, the surrounding of such individuals is what is called the mental disintegration. How beautifully he has explained how our mind should be. He is preparing us now to listen to his Atmabodha. He is preparing us. A person's mind should be that integrated with the knowledge. Forget, no, you have no choice. Don't think that, no, can I not absent from that? If you have a mind, You have to integrate it with the knowledge. Otherwise, if you don't, the mind will create all this, the dangerous disharmony, excruciating intolerance, and absolute ignorance. And then comes, what is the result of that? All this? Sorrows and sufferings. What is the result of disharmony, dangerous disharmony? Sorrow and suffering. What is the result of excruciating intolerance? Sufferings. Creating that surroundings of that individual, again sorrows. You understood why sorrows and sufferings are happening is gradually. So this is how we have to understand and then work for it. Okay. I think we shall stop today here. But I think this you have to settle down into mind. It's now it's all sediments floating around on top. Let it take that liquid and then slowly settle down at the bottom of the mind so that this liquid on top of it with emotions and unwanted thoughts will not get it mixed with that solution of yours. Let the sediments be settling down. That sediments, after settling down, it has to become solid, substratum, so that any amount of pouring of your emotional liquid on top of it should not be able to dissolve that hard substance which has been sedimentated by you. So sedimented. For that I am giving you this time. Please understand this paragraph I am telling you. This is wonderful. When you think about it, probably you will know better, more than me, how beautiful it is, and how wonderful or how important it is. Probably. If you contemplate, probably you may get more and you tell me, I will also listen to you. Om Shanti for today.